Hey everyone, Brian here from Vintage Classic Specialist. Happy Saturday to everyone. Hope everyone's weekend is going good so far. And it is time now for another episode of Day in the Life of Vintage Classic Specialist. Our little daily updates here where we talk about our restoration shop progress. So why don't we start with what I worked on today, and then I'll come back to this beauty here. So I worked on the rear suspension today on the extremely bright 74 Love Bug. And let's see what I got done here. So I got both rear axle assemblies together onto the trailing arms. And as usual, it was a bit of a pain in the butt. So I replaced the inner and outer bearings on both sides. And I don't know what it is with new bearings, but they never really fit the axle very well. And in fact, they also didn't fit in the housing itself very well. So I kept test fitting the bearings, starting with the stub axles first, and the bearings wouldn't even like close to slide onto the shaft. They're supposed to be like a pretty snug fit, but you should be able to slide them off and on like a kind of a zero clearance fit, so to speak. I mean, obviously there's got to be more than zero clearance there, but you don't want them sloppy on there, but at the same time you don't want to have to like beat them on there. And so yeah, I spent honestly probably half an hour per axle, like just sanding the axles, taking long strips of sandpaper, putting the axles in a vise, and then sanding around and around and around and around, like kind of like you would, I don't know, grab both sides of the sandpaper with it wrapped around the axle, and then pull, with each hand kind of back and forth. I think you guys can understand what I'm saying, and do that in all different directions. Try and keep it uniform. Check the bearing. Do it again. Repeat until the bearings would slide on nice. And yeah, so did that for both axles, for both bearings, inners and outers. And then the bearings weren't really that close to fitting into the housings either. So again, there's a bearing, well, you can see that outer bearing here. There's a cap, of course, that holds that on once the backing plate goes on. But yeah, that bearing wasn't even close to fitting. I could probably have like beat it in there, but that's not really what you want. Likewise with the inner bearings, which go in from this side, not even really close. So basically just took a Dremel tool with a little sanding drum on it and carefully went around and around and around and around the inner bore on both sides here of the trailing arm until I could tap the bearings down in there with, like a moderate amount of force. Not like beating them in with the biggest sledgehammer I could find, but kind of like tapping them in with a small hammer and making sure that they went in nice and straight. So yeah, just lots and lots of time just to get a couple bearings to fit the axles and the housings themselves. Once the bearings fit the axles and the housings, it's a piece of cake to put these together. You put the inner bearing in, and then it's got a retainer clip and then a grease seal that goes in. The outer bearing at this point, it just slides in because later, again, there is a cap that goes on there that has a seal in it. And there's a spacer inside there and some other little spacers that ride on the grease seal. So, I mean, it's not hard to put it together, but getting those bearings to fit is very annoying and very time consuming, and I don't know of any shortcut for doing that. So anyway, there you go. Not fun, but got to be done. So anyway, they fit great now, and everything's nice and smooth and fits the way it should. So did those for both sides, and then went ahead also and installed the spring plates. So new bushings, inner and outer, new hardware, etc., etc. These go on pretty easy. Yeah, there's some tricks to it, but overall it's pretty straightforward to put them on. And set the angle back where they were before at the stock setting, which on this car happened to be about 21 or 22 degrees. And the nice thing is when we pulled the spring plates off, we didn't disturb the spline torsion bars on the inside, so it was very obvious when these were at the right angle versus if the whole torsion bar comes out and you lose your indexing inside and out, then you're kind of almost like guessing where to start and then just fine tuning inner and outer teeth from there to try and get back to that magic angle, so to speak. But yeah, only the outers, we removed them. And so super obvious because each tooth is like 9 degrees or something like that. So if you're off on the outer, you know you're off. So super easy in that respect. So yeah, those went on good. New hardware from Wolfsburg West. Instead of restoring hardware, it just makes more sense to buy nice new fresh hardware. Likewise, I got new hardware for where these bolt to the trailing arms, so probably be putting these on Monday. We'll see. Depends on if Rafa is working on this car on Monday, because I don't want to be in his way for whatever he's doing. But anyway, made some good progress in getting the back together. Kind of got the hard part done, or the tedious part at least, which is assembling these with new axles. The rest of it's pretty straightforward, just more or less bolting stuff together. So that was my day. Other than that, I did spend a little bit of time. Oh, here, let me just walk over here and show you guys. Spent a little bit more time organizing our little upholstery shop here. So this table here, which is going to be Santiago's kind of work area for spreading out upholstery and stuff like that. And then this end over here is kind of my little like office space and a little bit of a catch-all. I may put a desk in here eventually separately, but I don't think there's going to be any room. So I'm probably just going to keep this end of this table here for my work area. And then of course there's a sewing machine, and organized a bunch of food and coffee and stuff and engine building kind of specialty stuff over here. All my different dial bore gauges and digital mics and stuff like that over there that we don't use too often, and frankly don't have a good spot out in the shop to store them. So that's where all that engine building nice tools live. So big day though for this guy, the Sea Blue 64. So Rene took the car today, and as you can see, he removed the fenders and cleaned everything up really, really good, and then did a really nice job of undercoating everything. So I'm not going to crawl down on the ground, but the whole underside of the chassis is undercoated, and then the fender wells coated. The inside inner surfaces of the fenders are coated, and then I can't really show you this now because these seats are leaned here. But yeah, he got all up underneath the package tray and stuff like that and back too. So yeah, it really looks good. It's going to look great when the car goes back together. The one thing that we didn't do, which I was a little bit tore on but decided not to do, was this area right here. So the car did actually have original paint, which is in pretty decent shape once Rene cleaned it up. Right here, a lot of times we'll actually paint that area or undercoat that area, but we just went ahead and left it. It of course won't show when the gas tank is in. And then this area here, the pan head, I do intend to remove the suspension so that we can paint and powder coat suspension components and, you know, replace tie rods and all that good stuff, and brake components. So maybe when all that suspension comes out, maybe I'll paint this area in here, but maybe not. I don't know. We'll see. It cleaned up pretty decent. And again, this isn't really, I mean, first off, this isn't a complete restoration. It's kind of a partial restoration, I guess. But yeah, I'll probably do a little paint touch up in here once I remove all this stuff. But for now, yeah, the undercoating, it's all underneath and stuff like that. So yeah, Rene did a really good job as usual, prepping everything and so on. So that was kind of a big deal. But anyway, I had promised you guys I would be showing you the seats for this car, which our upholstery guy, Santiago, finished a couple days ago. I think he actually finished these on Thursday. Really, really happy with how these came out. They just look amazing. The gray color that we picked out is just incredible and looks unbelievable with the sea blue. And then we got the correct piping, which we were able to source from Wolfsburg West. I'm probably going to have some of this made because it was very expensive coming from Wolfsburg West, and we needed like 25 yards of it, and it cost a lot. And I think I can actually have this correct piping made because we use it a lot. This stuff is used on like almost everything, buses and Beetles and so on. But anyway, yeah, so these are done, and as you would expect, they look amazing. So very excited about those. And then if you remember correctly, we actually, let me just walk over here and show you guys, we restored the original door panels. The vinyl for them was in really great shape, so we basically put them on new boards here. So yeah, the upholstery on this car is just going to be amazing all around. And then the other thing I don't think that I have showed you yet is that Santiago has also done the carpet in here. And the only thing, let me turn on my light, the only thing that's not done yet, and this is my fault because I forgot to get it, is the carpet up front, because I forgot to get the little rubber firewall mat for up there. And so I'll probably get that by like Tuesday or so, and he can finish that up. But the rest of it, as you can see, is all in and looks really, really good. And of course he did fix the headliner, which I showed you guys previously. The headliner had been installed pretty poorly by somebody previously, so he went and pulled a little here, tucked a little there, etc., got it looking really, really good. And then yeah, the carpet of course looks incredible. Real German wool square weave carpet. There's nothing else like it. So yeah, interior on this thing, other than finishing up this area of the carpet in the front here and then putting in new rubber floor mats, interior is pretty much done. Obviously we need to install the door panel still, but yeah, super happy with how the interior of this car is shaped up, and everything else about the car for that matter. So guys, I think that is it for today. So hope everyone enjoys the rest of your weekend. It looks like this car is going to be leaving Monday afternoon, so I'll probably come over tomorrow just briefly and do a final project review video of this. So I'll probably be releasing that tomorrow night. And I do still need to take it on a quick drive down the freeway, just get it up to freeway speeds. Not expecting anything to go awry, but want to just check that box off as far as testing everything on this car. So anyway, guys, thank you all for watching, and we will see you again soon. Bye.